Hi Leo, welcome to your mid-monthly May reading. I've been on a while, so I've not been able to do the general as promised, but the love reading is still there if you want to check it out. I'll maybe link it below so you can see it. I'm just going to see what the general messages are for you for the end of May, Leo. So from the 14th to the 31st, what are the messages for the sign of Leo? Messages for the sign of Leo. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages for the sign of Leo for the end of May? Spirit and Universe, what are the messages for the sign of Leo for the end of May? 14th to 31st. Messages for Leo. Leo, end of May. Messages from the 14th to the 31st. So Leo, apologies in advance if I cough during this reading. I've had a very bad throat and it is not entirely healed just yet. So I did cough through the Scorpio reading. And, 10 of Cups. So Leo, I get the phrase settling down instantly, okay? So, I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to be calling time on either your partying, drinking, certain toxic friendships. You're maybe changing up your support system a little bit and being a little bit more self-reliant. For the most part, I feel like you're giving up the unnecessary escapism. What I mean by that is maybe you've been through something and you've dealt with it by partying, you've dealt with it by drinking, maybe you've dealt with it by trying to overdo your social calendar to possibly be seen. I don't know, maybe you're trying to prove you're having a good time to everyone else, but the first person that really needs that proof is yourself. I feel like you're calling time on behaviors and patterns that aren't working for you anymore. Excuse me. And what we're actually seeing here is that you're trying to establish more of a balance. And I see a 2. I see you calling time on a 3 to be a 2. So you may have been seeing a lot of people. You may have been seeing multiple people. And you're narrowing it down to just the one person that you want to be with. And this is someone that you're pretty sold on, okay? I feel like you've maybe... Now, Judgment is a Scorpio card, so we could be dealing with a Scorpio. Or at least that's how I see Judgment. But you could be dealing with any water sign, any earth sign, any fire sign, any air sign, etc., etc. You know, signs are just there for some, not for others, okay? I do see you narrowing down, you know, because Judgment is also a 2. You know, it's 20, narrows down to a 2. We have a 10 here, which is all about completion. So I see you moving from one period of your life to something more stable and something more substantial and something more meaningful, Leo, okay? I sense you've been really having a good time maybe in the single life or maybe socializing. You know, the external stuff, the superficial. Sometimes the 3 of Cups for me is very superficial. Some of you may in the past have called off an engagement. Some of you may have called off a long-term relationship, and you're finally getting back to being yourself. You're finally getting back to balancing mood swings. If you've been having mood swings, you're getting back to balancing your finances, your home situation. But for the most part, I feel very much like this is quite romantic. You'll know why it applies to you, but I feel like there's one saga of your life is ending. And we're going into something a lot more fair. You may have been trying to balance a couple of people or date around a bit, and you've found that it's not really who you are. You know, when you envision, my goodness, and when you envision your fairy tale, Leo, do you see 3 or 4 people in the picture, or do you see that one special person? Because I feel like you're thinking about this, and you're thinking, I want this one special person. rather than all this. You know, the partying's good and fun for a while, but then you just want to settle down. Similarly, you may have someone who's feeling this way about you. You may have someone who's been partying, neglecting you, and then suddenly they want to do the real deal. Sometimes judgment can also mean people come out from the woodwork, you know, from behind the scenes. It can mean that people come back from the past. You may hear from people from the past, people that have, when we're talking about those type of people, I feel like we're thinking of someone that fits the Three of Cups description, you know, the party friends, the lover that was always out, the person that didn't quite commit to. They may come back and you have to weigh up your options. You may have to choose between them and somebody else, somebody more stable and someone more of a good fit. But you may also be finding a little bit that when you weigh up this person's attributes, you're like, I don't really think I want them. I don't really want the person anymore. They weren't that good to me to begin with, you know? You're taking thought here, Leo. You're taking time out to think about things. But I really see you calling a halt on the superficial. You may also be calling a halt on your spending if you feel like you're spending too much money. Particularly if you feel like most of your money is going on partying or frivolities or superficial, you know, even clothing addiction, I think, is somewhat in here. You know, being wary of where you're putting your money and starting to balance your checkbook, balance up your spending habits, and really calling to time on things. And I feel like once you do that, the Ten of Cups is yours. So I feel like there is someone very significant in your life, and I feel like a lot of you are dealing with a Scorpio person that really cares about you, Leo. At least that's what I'm seeing to be getting from this. Could also be a Cancer or Pisces. Could be any sign, of course. But I'm just seeing it that way with the one card in the middle. And the next card we had was the Ace of Cups. So I'm seeing like an emotional refresh. Ooh. Someone that you can walk into the sunset with. Somebody new, someone fulfilling, someone that gets you emotionally. Like an emotional connection. Where you just feel more content. I actually think in the Leo reading that I did for you guys for love, it was coming across that you weren't feeling like you could express yourself. And I still get that impression a little bit. You're not entirely comfortable putting out the vulnerable side of you. But you're trying to find a way to balance it so that you can keep this person. Because you see them as a potential happily ever after, someone that you could really go the distance with, and that's beautiful. But you're trying to find a way to be more expressive for them. And trying to get rid of all your fears. Let your fears go. Let them dissipate, whatever the word is. It's escaping me right now how to pronounce that. But letting your fears just drift away and replace them with giving. So I feel like you're in a more giving mood by the end of the month, Leo. Like you're going to be able to give back to this person. And I feel like it's a really beautiful energy between you and this other person. Like if you need to know that they care, this is that they care. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Leo. I'm going to link your love reading below. And as usual, thank you for your likes and subscriptions. And if you want a private reading with me, the email address will be listed below. Take care. Bye.